What is going on, guys? It's Everett here, and we're on day number 9 of the 10-day mobility challenge. We're gonna work on the neck or the cervical spine in this video. So the first thing we'll focus on is something called isometric ramping. It's from the FRS system, and you'll need either 2 tennis or 2 lacrosse balls for this. If you have those somewhere, pause the video, go grab them. If you don't, we'll still be doing some stretching and mobility movements in this video, so skip ahead to that. But obviously these are pretty cheap, just grab them on Amazon. In fact, you can get something called a peanut, which is what we're going to make with tape or a tube sock, and these two will already be stuck together, okay? So that's an option if you're looking on Amazon. Just type in like mobility peanut. So I just threw the tennis balls in the sock. Again, you can tape these together, but you can see your spine is gonna be right in between these 2 tennis balls, and we're gonna focus on the upper traps. So isometric ramping is a way to teach our body how to contract and relax just one muscle group or one area of the body, and we're gonna mix in deep diaphragmatic breathing to help calm down the nervous system. So we're gonna spend 2 to 3 minutes doing this, and the way we'll start out is tennis balls or lacrosse balls. Again, upper traps. So I have fairly large traps, so this might be different for you. Might have to go a little lower or a little higher up on the neck, but we're just gonna lay down like so. Some people, this is very tender, so you can just put your hands down here. Other people need to bridge up to add some weight at certain times, or maybe throw the arms overhead. But the idea with this is, once again, we're gonna breathe in with the diaphragm, and when we breathe in, we're going to contract the traps and almost contract and push them into the tennis balls. Now at first, it's gonna be a little tender, so you might not be able to contract that much. Then when we exhale, we're going to relax and imagine those tennis balls just sinking into the muscles. So the muscles becoming more supple. It's gonna be difficult when we start this to contract the muscles. It's gonna be tender, and then it's going to be hard to fully relax and allow the body weight onto the tennis balls. Over time, you'll get better and better at this, and that tenderness will go away. So again, set a timer on your phone, find some spots, deep belly breath in, and we're doing that, contract the trap muscles, and then exhale, and then relax all the muscles and let the body weight right down those tennis balls. If it doesn't feel like a lot's happening, again, throw the arms overhead and maybe even bridge up when you're doing this. But breathe in, contract and shrug the traps, exhale, and relax the body weight onto the tennis balls like so. Now after that 2 to 3 minutes of isometric ramping for the traps, we'll move on to our 1 neck stretch for the day. And I like to sit on a bench for this, and it's gonna be mainly for the sternocleidomastoid, large neck muscle, but of course you'll get a lot of other muscles involved. Now you wanna anchor this arm on the side of whatever you're sitting on, and make sure you're sitting tall and the shoulders back and down. Typically when you draw that shoulder back and down, you can scoot over a little bit more. Now we're gonna take the opposite hand, and we're not pulling, it's almost just body weight or gravity with the hand to lean the head over. And you'll feel that in a number of places, including even the shoulder and the bicep. If you don't feel a whole lot in the neck, you might be pulling forward, which is where most people spend a lot of their time texting. So tip the head back and look up, and you'll feel that a lot more in the neck. You wanna make sure you're, again, breathing with the diaphragm, stomach is going forward, ribs are expanding. You're gonna feel that increase the stretch as well. And because these are smaller muscles, I typically say to stretch 2 minutes in a position. We're gonna do 30 seconds. That's not a hard rule. You could do 2 minutes, but I like to alternate sides. 30 seconds, then over to my left side, 30 seconds. Back over to the right side. 4 rounds of that to make that total 2 minutes per side. And you also have 7 vertebrae here, so this is something we need to think about. And they are shaped differently, so you get more rotation up near the skull. So on one side, you might almost have to think about having a stiffer neck and leaning over, and that will, for me, for instance, isolate a lot lower in the neck. Whereas on my left side, sometimes I sleep a little odd, and I need to do the stretch where I'm almost just tilting the head, just like this. So instead of leaning over with the neck, I'm really just tilting the head. So those are things to pay attention to and play around with. So this is a good one to do with a mirror in front of you, just so you can see what position you're defaulting into in that stretch, and you can be aware, hey, maybe I'm pulling over in this direction because this is really tighter, and that's actually where I need to be. So pay attention to what you're doing in this stretch, even though it seems pretty simple. Now our mobility movement for the neck will be controlled articular rotation from the FRS system. And these aren't just like neck circles, like you'd see someone warming up their neck. When you do that, oftentimes it's very relaxed, you're using a little bit of momentum, and you're skipping areas that you actually need to move into, so it's not very precise. So when we're doing this, we're trying to move the neck through every possible position the neck can go. We're doing it with control and a muscle contraction. We're trying to enlarge that rotation. And let's face it, most people pull a neck muscle when they, hear a noise up and behind them and they turn really quick and they pull that neck muscle. So you just don't need flexibility. You need to train your body how to actively go into these positions with a muscle contraction. So the way we're going to do this is to breathe deeply in the stomach and tighten up the abs. And we're trying to keep the shoulders from moving at all. So if you need to cross your arms or again, hold on to the bench, do that. It's like you're in concrete from the shoulders down. So the first thing we're going to do is take the chin as far forward onto the chest as possible. Once we've done that, we're going to rotate the chin to the left, scraping it along the chest until we're looking over the left shoulder. Once we've looked over the left shoulder as much as possible, we're going to lean the left ear to the left shoulder and then drop the head behind the shoulder and behind the back, looking up the ceiling, making a large half circle all the way over to that right side. Once we've reached that right side, we're gonna rotate as far as we can to the right and then lean the right ear to the right shoulder, touch the chin to the right shoulder, and then scrape that chin along the chest back towards the left, towards that starting position. So again, this is slow and controlled, and we're really trying to hunt out the areas that the neck doesn't want to move within, and we're doing everything a healthy neck should do. Flexion, extension, rotation, lateral flexion. So we're gonna do 2 reps just like that in each direction. Going to the right is the exact same thing. It's just a reverse movement. It's a mirror image though, clockwise and counterclockwise. So it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways, we do a lot of damage to our necks with our bad posture and just not moving that much thanks to cell phones, working on computers all day long. Then we get home, it's just Netflix and you've got your commute and sitting in a car in between that. This is something you're gonna have to be consistent with for your necks. Even if you're short on time, just do the cars daily and you might have to bookmark this video and come back to it to keep yourself consistent. But day number 9 is done. Congratulations, way to go. If you like the moves, hit the like button. It's gonna help other people find this video, which will help their necks. And we have day number 10 coming up. So if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks again, see you tomorrow.